Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Cosmic K-Man channel, and I am Cosmic. And today I got an awesome review for you guys. It took me a while to do it, just because I wanted to make sure before we reviewed Biomutant that I played it, that I took my time with it, and I have more than 25 hours, and I have 3 different characters, so I've spent my time playing Biomutant, getting a feel for it, and today I want to give you guys a pretty in-depth review, and overall give you my perspective on Biomutant, and pretty much what my overall thoughts and perspective is for this game. But the footage that I'm showing you guys, there's no spoilers in this gameplay. This is all just straight from the beginning. So I want to make sure that you guys got no spoilers so that you guys can try it for yourselves at some point if you want to. But overall, let's get into it. So Biomutant is a open world post-apocalyptic, however you say that, kung fu fable-like RPG with a mix of unique art style combat system which allows you to mix melee, shooting, and it's like these weird mutated abilities that you can do, which hopefully the gameplay shows it. Um, so it's very combat heavy, and the overall story is a plague is ruining the land and the tree of life that you have to protect or either destroy, depending on what path you choose. Its roots are dying, so that's like the overall plot of the game is protecting the tree of life and fighting for giant creatures that are killing it. But as usual, we'll start from the top. So presentation and visuals. The color palette for this game is extremely colorful and expressive, making the grass, the trees, the rocks, water, mountains, and overall world look pretty beautiful. And that's one thing that I noticed about this game is that this game looks very appealing to the eye. The fur for the characters, the detail that they put into the world, like it's just amazing. Like this game is actually really beautiful. I know it was made by I think 20 people, so with the small crew of people, like this game, like the presentation, the visuals, as you guys can see from the gameplay, like the grass, the vegetation, it all looks really good. Um, in terms of the visuals, there are different biomes such as winter biomes, canyons, mountains, water, grass, like kind of like plains, desert, and among some other ones that are quite unique and have a certain feel to them, like a very unique feel to it. Um, that like it shows like the destroyed cities that are like barren. There's like nobody there. There's no life. There's a lot of cool places that this game takes you to. There's some places that it takes you to where there's radiation or there's frost and there's ice. So there's a lot of cool places that Biomutant likes to take you, and the world is huge. Um, Even for me, I put my first playthrough was I think 25 hours, 26 hours, and I don't even think I've like truly explored the world. Like I've had the map, like all the areas unlocked, but like the game, like it's open world, but it's divided into sectors, and there's so many like places I still got to check out. So this game is just awesome. I love the biomes. They really did a good job at it. But in conclusion, with the presentation and visuals, this game looks pretty, and it's very simple too. Like it looks really good. Like it's a very simple feel to it, but it's so unique at the same time. So good job on them for doing the presentations and visuals. I applaud them for that. So moving on, we'll start with the gameplay, melee, gunplay, and parrying. So for the melee combat, weapons. So when you get different type of weapons, there are different type of combos for each weapon you get. Like let's say that you get a hammer, or you get 2 swords. So whatever type of weapon that you have, there are different combos for them. They're the same inputs for the combos. So like let's say like I have like a one-handed sword or like an axe or something. If I press like B, X, RT, it's still the same combo, but they look aesthetically different from each other. So even though you're doing the same combo with the buttons, the actual combo that comes out of your weapon is unique and different. So that's one thing that I could tell they put a lot of time into, is making the melee weapons feel special and make them feel unique. So no matter what weapon that you use, it won't be the same. I think there's how many weapons? I think there's one-handed, two-handed. You got your heavy weapons. So there's quite a few. Um, Other than that, oh yeah, also when you're using combos, you can actually unlock more with skill points. So you can actually upgrade your overall melee kit and do a lot more cooler combos, more stylistic one, like the Kung Fu, Gun Kaida type of thing that your character does. In terms of melee, for certain melee weapons, for most of them, melee combat has a lot of weight to it, making your attacks feel like they're very strong. Alongside the combos you can build up, your attacks feel very weighted and strong, and that's something that I actually liked a lot of. that I've noticed from pretty much all melee weapons, whether it's like you're using your hands, you're using like elemental stuff, whether you're using like physical, like actual like a sword or something, a lot of your melee attacks have a lot of weight to it. And I think you guys will appreciate that. And like, I don't know, that's something that I like a lot. I like to feel like if I'm hitting someone that I could feel the weight to it. Moving on, in terms of the gunplay, guns are very snappy. They have like a auto aim system that you can't really, like you can control it by I guess moving your camera, but when you use guns in this game, it really automatically locks onto the enemy that you're fighting. So if there's an enemy in front of you, all you have to do is just press the trigger, and your character will start automatically aiming in their direction, as long as your camera is within view and they're kind of like center screen. One thing about this game is guns are very powerful and good for gunslingers who enjoy long-range combat. So if you like long-range combat and you like to craft different guns or find different guns in the world, um, this game definitely rewards you for using guns for sure. And especially in some fights where some enemies it's better to fight them with melee or sorry, not with melee, with guns rather than fighting them close up and personal. So for you guys out there that likes guns, this game really does it in terms of that. There are multiple different guns. There's a lot of different types of guns to mess with too, and I can't think of one gun that I haven't really enjoyed besides the starting pistol. But besides that, you get a lot of cool guns. Like right here, I'm using an automatic like Rambo M60 of some sort. I don't even know what that is. But there's shotguns, there's pistols, there's snipers. Um, there's like 3-round burst ones. So there's a lot of different guns you can mess with, and I think you guys will enjoy that. So moving on from the guns, there's not too much there. The parry system works really well, and it actually is a combo extender. So you guys have seen me do it a couple times where I parried someone, and it's kind of like the Batman Arkham games where like there's something over their head, showing that like they're stunned. And what you do when they're stunned is you hit LB, which I was playing this on PC, but I'm using an Xbox controller. But you hit LB and you sling them into the air, and then you can extend your combos and pretty much like destroy the person in the air and make it look like all cool and like kung fu-ish. So that's pretty cool. There is no blocking system, which kind of sucks, but I mean, rolling in this game is broken. So that's one thing too. When you shoot or when you melee, you can actually roll first and do like a dodge roll and then turn that into a combo or a combo starter. So if you guys like a lot of movement, you guys like to move fast and like fight one guy and then move on to the next one quickly, definitely rolling in this game is pretty broken. It's like some Dark Souls 3 type of rolling. So I think you guys are really going to enjoy it, especially if you can time it right. You can time the invincibility for your rolls and actually get a lot off of it. I still wish there was a blocking system of some sort, but it's fine that there's not. The game doesn't really need it, but that's alright. Bigger enemies, you can also stun them too with your parry, and if you stun them, they can actually take massive damage. I'm not sure if I do it to this guy right here, but if you can time their attack when they hit you, you can block it and then you can jump on top of their heads. There's some guys that are like 10 times bigger than you, so you have to like make sure that you parry them because it's easier to fight when they're parried and stunned rather than fighting them without parrying. So in this game, parrying is very important and you actually get rewarded for it pretty well. Moving on, so the next category is enemies and bosses. So there are a number of enemies ranging from mutated bugs of some sort, there's wildlife, there's tribe soldiers with guns and melee weapons. And the tribe soldiers are it's extremely important to the story, and you will see those guys a lot. There are robotic enemies, and there's actually much more to this game. I'm not sure like what all the actual animals are called, but as you guys can see, I'm fighting some of those guys. There's like different types of bandits and merchants and stuff that you have to fight. So there's tons of enemies in Biomutant, so you'll always see something new or something that's like a variation of what you've already saw, but still looks unique. In terms of enemy and bosses, there are 4 major bosses tied to the story that are extremely tall and huge. Each boss requires a different strategy to take it down. So with each boss, there's like different ways that it changes up your gameplay, and there's different approaches you have to take because you can't just go in guns blazing or just with your melee and just like trying to hack and slash. So each of the major 4 bosses in the game that protect the world tree, there's different ways to take those down, and it'll definitely change up your gameplay. There are also tribe bosses that you can fight. So in this game, you're also fighting for land, whether you choose the light or dark side. You have to fight different tribes and take over their land, which I thought was a pretty cool gameplay aspect. And when you do that, after you're done taking it, I think it's three major plots of land, then you have to fight the tribe leader after you're done taking over their command posts and whatnot. And those fights are actually pretty cool, and I think you guys will really enjoy fighting all the tribe bosses. I can't remember how many there is. I think there's 8 tribe bosses, most likely. Either 8 or 10, something like that. And you can choose to, I don't, you can't kill them. I think you could choose to, like, enslave them or have them join you. So there's always those two options of, like, after I'm done beating you, like, what are you going to do with that tribe boss? Are you going to have them join you? Or are you going to, like, tie him up forever and, like, leave him as a prisoner? Um, so once you conquer land, you start building up your own tribe, whether you join the light or dark side tribe. And as you continue conquering land, you will grow your numbers and you will grow your overall spread of the overall map. So keep in mind, like when you're taking over all these tribe lands, sorry, when you're taking over the plot of land that the tribes own, that's actually yours once you capture it, and you can like set it up where you can like buy stuff at your own plot of land, and like you could set up like different stores and whatnot. So that's pretty cool. Um, there are also like tons and tons of mini bosses I've noticed scattered around the world, so keep an eye out when you're playing that like you never know like when you're like on your mount or like when you're walking around that like a mini boss will try to come and fight you. So keep an eye on those guys. The loot system is alright. You can upgrade your loot with your level up points and oh sorry, not with yeah, you can upgrade your loot. Once you level up, there's actually a thing where you can use your skill points to put it into your loot chance. So I would definitely recommend doing that like early on in the game. Um, you can also get weapons. There's mods, there's health and energy pickups, there's clothing and armor, there's building material to upgrade, there's attachments for weapons, and there's also modification. Also, there's attachments for your weapons and your armor, and there's modifications for your guns and armor as well, and for your melee weapons. So don't forget about that. Overall for the loot system though, I do like it. I just wish that like the clothing in this game, or like the actual loot that you get, was like more appealing to the eye. Which I mean, it makes sense that like the loot in this game is like it kind of makes your character look ugly because like you're in a post-apocalyptic world where like everything fell apart. But in terms of like the armor and whatnot, I wish it looked a little bit cooler, like what you can find and what you can upgrade and modify. But overall, so, you know, it's a little gripe. It's not too big. You guys will still enjoy crafting it yourself or finding it. So it's just like a little thing that I thought was like, dang, that kind of sucks that armor doesn't look as cool as it should. In terms of crafting, you can craft your own guns and melee weapons, which is actually the key to this game. I thought that crafting your own stuff is way better than finding anything. The only thing that I would say like really spend your time finding is definitely find mods and material around the world and just like stock up on that. And then once you reach like towns or something, go ahead and like go to the armor shop or the gun shop and or the melee shop and like start working on your weapons. But you can also craft them like in your main menu too, so keep that in mind. But crafting is very important on this game, and I would actually suggest like it's not too complex either. So I suggest doing that. I think it's really cool and like you guys will have fun with it. And there's like a lot of stuff to mess with too. Um, like I was saying, it's very simple. Also like when you're crafting weapons and whatnot, you learn a lot and it actually changes your stats too. Like if you have like a certain weapon, it'll change like your damage or your if you're wearing certain armor, it'll change like your different status effects. So keep in mind like the crafting, you could like mess with your armor and your weapons and your guns, and that can affect your stats in pretty awesome ways. For exploration, so Biomutant is a huge game and it has like a lot to offer, especially for open world fans. Um, there's like tons of different regions you can go to. It's all on one map, so like the only time you'll ever be in a cutscene is when you're fast traveling. Which you do have to like unlock the fast travels, which you'll know what they are. They're like little command posts, and you unlock that. But the overall world is super huge. It's very impressive too, and you will end up spending a lot more time just checking out the leftovers of this destroyed world and like all the different biomes and everything, and the different nooks and crannies of like secret loot. It's called super loot. There's like ultimate weapons, so there's a bunch of stuff in terms of like the exploration that you're gonna find awesome. You can get like super unique mounts that you wouldn't even know existed unless you actually went out and explored it. So there's tons of stuff that you could do with the exploration in this game, and like I said, I beat the story within like I would say like towards my 15-hour point in the game, but like leading up to my overall like game time that I have on Biomutant, it was all mostly just exploring the world because like it's huge, it's immersive and like it's very 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 big. So there's a lot that I still need to figure out and still need to explore. So keep that in mind. Um, Going on in terms of the story and characters, so the story is very fun. It takes you to a lot of different events. It takes you through a lot of different events, choices, and places. As everything you do in this game, it actually matters and has like weight to it. So make sure like when you're going through different events and you're making these choices, that you keep in mind that like your story, you're actually making it yourself as you go on, which I thought was pretty cool. It's like everything you actually do matters, and the people you interact with, the people that you decide to save or hurt, the places of land that you decide to take over and conquer, all has different effects on the story. And I thought that was pretty unique, and honestly something that I think they deserve more credit for, as I haven't seen a lot of people talk about that in reviews, so that's something I thought was awesome. The main characters and the side characters I found super engaging and made the story have more weight to it, especially when you do the flashback story segments. Um, I thought the flashbacks outside of like the ending scenes of this game were like some of like the best story writing for this game, and the characters that they have and like the world that they built, it all just fits in perfectly. And like you'll find characters that you like and other like tribe leaders that you might like. So there's a bunch of characters in this game. I couldn't even tell you them by name because there's so many. So I think you guys have like a lot of fun if you guys are like super into the story and super into like different characters that act different. Not one character is the same as another one on here. All got their unique personalities and quirks to them. But overall for this, in my opinion, I give Biomutant a 6.5 out of 7. And that's just my opinion and my perspective on the game. I really enjoyed the game that Experiment 101 has created, and I'm looking forward to like their future games too. Like if this is like a teaser, like this is their first game that Experiment 101 made. Like this is like an awesome like first entry. I know like a lot of people I've seen online haven't really liked Biomutant or have like a lot of problems with it. Um I'm still looking forward to anything that they do, and like I'm looking forward to the updates too. Like Biomutant's not a perfect game. It has a ton of flaws to it. But I mean, overall, they're listening to the community, they're listening to the content creators that voice their opinions, so it's cool that the developers, are working through certain issues that Biomutant had and stuff that needs to be fixed. So I'm very happy to see the community and the developers work together. But it's really up to you. Um, at some point, if you want to buy this game, I'd suggest it. It's a little bit slow, so it's a slow open world game, but I think Biomutant has a lot to offer. I don't think the gameplay that I show does it justice, but it's just an awesome open world game that has great gameplay and a great story, and I think that what they were shooting for is to make Biomutant fun. And granted, like it has issues, and I've talked about a couple on like the loot system, or I forgot to say the combat. It needs like a lock-on system, but that would be nice if it did instead of auto lock, where the camera pins on an enemy that you're fighting, kind of like the Soul series or the Kingdom Hearts series. So it has a lot of issues, like the loot system, but overall, the game is fun, and for me personally as a fan of what they did, I think it was awesome. I think it was worth the money that I paid for it. But like I said, it's ultimately up to you. Hopefully this review helped you in some way. Kind of like gauge if you want to get it or not. Um, Definitely check out other people too and like stack, what I said against other people. Um, I'm not trying to like, say, oh yeah, you have to get this game, but I would definitely encourage at any point if the game has like a sell or whatnot, definitely get the game and hop into it. But this game did a lot for me, it brought a lot to the table and I enjoyed it. So I just want to say that, this game's a 6.5 out of 7 in my opinion, and I recommend it. So let me know what you guys think though, if you guys have seen Biomutant, played it. If you do play it, do you like it? Do you not? So let me know in the comments. If you guys have any questions about Biomutant, I'm super happy to answer those. I'll try to do it with the best of my ability from the current knowledge that I have of this game. And with that said, you guys have a good one. Thank you guys for supporting me. Like, comment, and subscribe as it helps get the video out, and I will see you guys in the next video. And I will keep this gameplay running so you guys can see this story segment. So you guys enjoy the story segment right here. This is a flashback, and have a good day.